Hey everyone, the April release of the Okapi web app is out the door. It incorporates some new features to help optimize your workflow and give you some more control over the users in your site. To get started, we'll look at the ability to now download multiple attachments from your site at a single time. Attachments are generally inserted at the event or activity level. I will take a look at the Forest Park Balloon Race, get to my Media tab, and I can see images that I've uploaded for this event. With this bulk download feature, I can now enable myself to download 1, 2, 3, up to 100 photos at the same time. To do so, I can click on the bulk download button, and we'll now see I have the ability to pick single photos. And I can also go up here and click the Select All button, and it will select all the photos I have currently in my view, and I can click Download. And what this will do is it will kick off a zip file download, and I now have this file on my desktop with all 3 photos inside of it that I can share via email. And I'll go ahead and clear out this download. The next feature is very useful for site administrators and other folks that would like to limit access of certain data to their users. Potential use cases include if I have a market that certain field reps work, I may only want those field reps to see the events and activities for that market. With data access groups, I can accomplish that with relative ease. I will start by going into my user list in the Data Access Groups link. This will bring up any existing data access groups in my site. I'm going to walk through the process of adding a new data access group, adding a user to that data access group, and then we'll look at what that does on the user side by logging in as that user and showing the restricted data that they see. To add a new data access group, we click the Add New button. I'm asked to enter a data access group name. I'm going to keep this one very simple. This is my St. Louis data access group limitation. That allows for me to quickly know that anybody in this group is going to be limited to the market. And when I click on market, I get an option of any market inside of my site. I'm going to limit this data access group to the St. Louis market. And as we see here, we can restrict on various layers within the application. I can restrict users to programs, to regions, to markets, and to campaigns. For this one, I'll go ahead and I'll create this data access group. We'll now see that it's listed as an option for me to assign to a user. To assign a user to a data access group, I edit that user. We'll see we have a field rep here. I'm going to go ahead and edit this user. And when editing the user in the form, I see the opportunity to add them to a data access group. And when I click on this drop down, I get all the options of the data access groups I have available in my site. I'm going to assign this field rep to the St. Louis data access group, and I'm going to save out of that. Immediately we see now that this field rep is assigned to the St. Louis data access group, so we've done our job well. What I'll do now is I'm going to flip the view to log in as this user. This will give us an idea of how these data access groups work and kind of the limitations that they enforce upon a person. So here I am logged in as that field rep. We can immediately see that there is a knockdown in the navigation. They can only access events, activities, contacts, and attachments. If I were to look at my events, this field rep should only be able to see events in the St. Louis market, which they do. If I go look at the events, all of these events are attached to those, activities. These are attached to the 3 events that we just saw. If the field rep chooses to export data, let's say they would like to export this list of 3 events. That exported data is also limited by that access group. If I were to open this file, I would only see these 3 entries for events. So data access groups give you the ability to only allow access to certain points of data in the application to any user that you decide to do so with. And that wraps up this month's release video. It's short and sweet, and thanks for watching.